Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is Alana Zah binti Muhammad Fauzi and I will be starting our group presentation for the course ESEB3094, Teacher Parent Communication. Our presentation is titled Innovative Communication in 21st Century Education, where we will explore creative and forward-thinking ways to improve communication between teachers and parents. Okay, for the main objective of this assignment is to go beyond the traditional communication methods like phone calls, written notes, or parent-teacher meetings. Instead, we aim to suggest modern, inclusive, and technology-driven strategy that are more effective in today's educational environment. As the first presenter, I will begin by giving a brief overview of the current state of education in Malaysia and explaining why effective teacher-parent communication is more important than ever before. Education in Malaysia today is undergoing a major transformation. The shift to digital learning, multicultural classroom, and post-pandemic recovery have changed the way schools operate, and this includes how teachers and parents communicate. In the past, communication between schools and families rely heavily on physical meetings, printed report cards, or occasional phone calls. While these methods worked before, they often fall short in today's fast-paced and digitally driven environment. As students face increasingly complex academic and emotional challenges, strong, ongoing communication between teachers and parents become essential. It helps bridge understanding, track progress, and support learning beyond the classroom. However, we must acknowledge that many schools still struggle with outdated communication system, lack of parental engagement, or even language and accessibility barriers. That's why this presentation focuses on innovative communication strategy. It is the idea that move beyond traditional methods and aim to make teacher-parents collaboration more effective, inclusive, and practical for the 21st century. In the next section, member 2 will highlight some of the key challenges faced in achieving effective communication in today's educational environment.
Thank you, Alia. I'm Li Yuzhen. Today, I will continue with sharing about three major challenges that affect how teachers and parents communicate in school today. These challenges are not new, but they are become more serious in 21st centuries, especially with online learnings and the changing role of parents and teachers. Also share real examples that many of us may have seen or even experienced by ourselves. So let's start with the first challenge, which is the digital divide. This day, most school communicates happens online, but not all families have equal access to internet or gadgets like laptops and smartphones. This is especially hard for families in rural areas or those with lower income, like the B40 group. During the MCOs, a report by the Ministry of Education 2020 said only 6% of the students have their own device and strong internet. Imagine a parent who want to join the online meetings but has no phone signal, or a student use a borrowed phone to attend class. So when the parents can't go online, they will miss updates and feel disconnected. That's why we say these digital gaps makes school home-based communications harder. So now you all can look at the besides bar chart, show that around 85% of the urban students has access to the internet compared to only 45% of students in rural area. There's a big difference. Next. Okay, the second challenge is about the language and the culture. Malaysia is very diverse. We speak many languages, as we know, such as Malay, Mandarins, Tamils, and even indigenous languages. But most of school message or memo are written only in Bahasa Melayu or English. So some parents, like those from the Orang Asli or rural Chinese-speaking families, will not understand this message well. As we all know, they might miss important things like exams, dates, school fees, or meeting times. Even in my own experience, my parents were feeling confused just because the notice was not in the language that they were familiar with. So here on this slide, you can see there are two versions of the memo. On the ones it is in Malay only, and in others, and at the beside is translate into English, Mandarins, and Tamil. Just a small effort like this can make a huge difference. So, according to the Zulkifli and Noor Azman, 2021, language accessible improve trust and participations, which unclear message make parents feel left out, not because they don't care, just because the communications was not accessible. From these diagrams, we can see even though BM is our national language, many home use other language every day. If school don't offer language support, some parents are left out. The third challenge is mistrust and miscommunications. In many schools, communication is still one way, where the school sends out the notice and letter, but parents don't get a chance to give a feedback or ask questions. This makes parents feel excluded from important decisions. And the teachers, on the other hand, will feel overwhelmed and unsupported, but especially they don't know how the parents will react. This stress affect both sides. So here I will provide a real life example happened in Glangs in 2023. Parents found out her child was suspected, but she was told in advance she only received a formal letters, and the stories went viral on the social medias. And many other parents began sharing similar experiences, like asking for more transparent communications from school. So these situations damage the relationship between school and the families. It creates fear, confusion, and stress for both parents and the teachers. And in the end, the students suffer the most. These diagrams, it show that we can call it like a broken communication loop. The school send information, but there is no feedback from families or the parents. Without two-way communications, important messages are missed and misunderstood. That's why Stanovich 1996 emphasized that open two-way communications is key to build trust and supporting students' well-being. Next. All right. Until here, to wrap up, here are simple tables that summarize the three key challenges and how they affect school homes communications. So, as I just talked just now, the first one is digital divide, which limited internet devices and digital literacy will lead to parents unable to access online school communications. The second one is language and cultural barrier, where school members often not understand by all linguistic groups, which will make the misinformations, low parental engagings and involvements. The last one is mistrust and miscommunications, where only have one-way communication, lack of transparency, which also will lead to the damaged trust and emotional stress, viral conflicts. All of these challenges can make it hard for parents and teachers to work together. That's why school needs better, more inclusive way to communications with families. So up next, I will pass for next presenter, which they will share about 5 smart creative idea to improve how school connect with parents.
Okay, thank you, Lee Yuzen. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Fatin Izzati. Okay, from here I'll be presenting on our first innovative communication strategy called EduSphere. So next slide. So EduSphere is actually a gamified 3D virtual school environment where students, parents and teachers interact using avatars. So just like in a game or simulation, imagine a virtual school where you can enter classroom, parent lounge or discussion zones, not just to learn but to actually communicate in real time. So instead of using WhatsApp or attending physical meetings, parents can simply log in from home using their phones or laptops. So teachers can leave announcement or hold a Q&A sessions and even meet parents in virtual space. Next slide. So why it's innovative? So this slide highlights why EduSphere is considered an innovative communication strategy for schools. First, it encourages active participation through immersive experience. So instead of just reading messages or attending online meetings, parents, students, and teachers can interact in a virtual school space using avatars, like I said earlier, and making the communication feel more engaging. Second, it's accessible from home and no need for physical meetings. Parents don't have to attend physical meetings. This is especially helpful for parents who are busy, live far from the school, or have transportation issues. Lastly, it promotes digital literacy in a safe schools specific space. So since EduSphere is a closed school specific platform, it's safe for everyone to use, and it helps students and families get more comfortable with technology in a secure environment. So overall, EduSphere makes communication more interactive, inclusive, and future-ready. Next slide. So how it solves 21st century challenges. So because today's students often struggle with attention span, and many parents, uh, especially in rural areas, can always attend meetings physically. So this strategy offers a fun, interactive, and accessible way for everyone to stay connected. According to Radianti and colleague 2020, immersive environments like this can improve engagement and motivation. It also supports Malaysia's goal of improving digital readiness in schools, according to MOE 2020. So in short, EduSphere solves several communication issues at once. It makes things more engaging, more flexible, and way more inclusive for both students and parents. Next slide. The second is EduVoice, AI multilingual voice assistant. Next slide. Okay, what is EduVoice? EduVoice is actually an AI-powered voice assistant for school updates. EduVoice helps send out school announcements and updates in both text and voice format. But what makes it special is that it automatically translates the message into different languages like Malay, English, Mandarin, or Tamil. So parents can choose to either read or listen to the message in the language they understand best. According to Wu et al. 2021, AI voice assistants are becoming useful tool in education, especially for improving accessibility. And Ahmad and Ismail 2021 highlighted how AI can transform communication in Malaysian education system. Next slide. Okay, so why it's innovative? This slide explains why EduVoice is an innovative strategy for school communication. First, it helps non-tech savvy or elderly caretakers stay informed. Not every parent or grandparents is comfortable with using text messages or school apps. So with EduVoice, they can just listen to voice message in their preferred language, making it easy and for them to understand what's going on at the school. Second is make school communication more inclusive and personalized. Since EduVoice supports multiple languages like Malay, English, and Tamil, um, and Mandarin, families from different backgrounds can receive messages that tailor to them, helping to avoid misunderstanding. So lastly is available on mobile apps with offline options for rural access. This means families who live in places with poor internet can still access school information, making it much more accessible and fair for everyone. So overall, EduVoice is not just high-tech, but it's designed to helpful and inclusive for all types of families. Next slide. So this is how it solves 21st century challenges. Like I said earlier, it can overcome language barrier in multicultural Malaysia. So as we all know, in Malaysia, we have so many culture, so many races. So EduVoice, it ensure that every family, regardless of background, can understand and stay involved. Secondly, it improves accessibility for visually impaired or low literate users. Instead of reading long text, they can just listen to voice messages, making school communication easier and more inclusive for all types of users. Lastly, it enhances family-school connection with simplified tech. So using simplified technology, EduVoice runs on mobile apps and even offers offline option, which means it's practical for families in rural areas too. So overall, this strategy is not just high tech, it's also people friendly and designed to close the communication gap between schools and families in today's fast changing world. That's all for me. I give it to the next presenter.
Thank you, Fatin. My name is Nur Shifa Katrunada Ado binti Muhammad Zuki. So I will continue for the next strategy, which is Pulse Point. It is transform public spaces near schools into interactive communication zones, install solar-powered smart bench with Bluetooth and audio-visual displays, bench connect to school link bracelets or cards when parents approach. So let me introduce our third strategy, which is Pulse Point. This idea transform public spaces near schools like bus stops or pickup points into smart communication zones using solar-powered benches. When a parent sits or stands nearby, the bench connect to their school link card and place short updates about their child, like progress in class or even a kind message from the teacher. It's a seamless way to keep busy parents informed and emotionally connected without needing to check their phones or attend meetings. So it delivers personalized updates such as academic progress, behavior, motivational message. For example, today Adam gave great answers in science, so ask him about electricity. It's also designed for working parents or those with limited digital access, enhance community engagement, and turns waiting time into meaningful interactions. So now we move to the fourth strategy, which is virtual garden, a virtual world that symbolizes each student's academic and emotional journey. Customizable digital garden represents progress, such as trees, which is subjects, rivers, which is behavior. Skies change with students' emotional states. Teachers and parents use avatars to explore the garden together. So parents can plant digital encouragement seeds. Students can add flowers or animals to express feelings, support visual storytelling, emotional expression, and cultural appreciation of nature. Encourage family involvement in a safe, expressive environment. So our fourth strategy is virtual garden, which turns a student learning in an emotional journey into a virtual garden. Each element represents some things like trees show subject mastery, rivers reflect behavior, and the sky shows emotional well-being. Parents and teachers can walk through this garden using avatars, then see how the student is doing. They can even plan digital encouragements. This visual and symbolic approach is especially helpful for students who find it hard to express their feelings and strengthens school-home communication in a creative way. So now we move to our last strategy, which is StoryLink. It converts academic feedback into personalized digital storybooks or comics. Student is the main character on learning adventures. For example, climbing mountains like overcoming map, using AI to auto-generate stories from teacher input. Stories are illustrated, voice narrated, and multilingual. So distribute weekly or monthly for consistent updates. It's also improve understanding for parents with diverse literacy levels, and encourage family bonding through storytelling and celebrate student growth. So Storylink transform traditional academic reports into fun, personalized storybooks or comics. Um, in each story, the student is the hero, maybe climbing a mountain to conquer math or solving mysteries through teamwork. These stories are created using AI and come with pictures, narration, and multiple language options. It makes feedback much easier to understand for parents, especially those who prefer visuals or have limited literacy. More importantly, it encourages regular family bonding through storytelling and helps students feel proud of their groups. So now we move to the conclusion. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Shifa. So my name is Nufatiha and I will continue for conclusion. So conclusion here is the emphasize the importance of teacher-parents communication was very important that we had know. And we also, based on this assessment, we also understand communication varies based on learning outcome tree. And here also have the challenge like time and language can be overcome. And it also challenge such as time limitation and language difference can be addressed and managed effectively.